A little chat. Oh, Luke. How is Luke this evening? How are you? Look at these programs, Luke. Hey, yeah, you're not. Have you got those? You've got those too, haven't you? Luke's first. I don't think Michael's on tonight. He's working. A lot of guys are working again now with the lockdown being over. So, what do you get up to, Luke? What have you been getting up to while all this lockdown's been going on? Yeah, I'm not going to give too much away because it'll ruin the program watch. But yeah, they both got into the top 10. I'll give you that. I'll give you that information. The Brighton one wasn't as good as last season's. Last season's was very good. I did say I got it a bit late last year, so I didn't include it in the program thing last year, but because it came in a bit late. I do college work. Went to work at Sainsbury's. Are you still at Sainsbury's now, Luke, or have you jacked that in? Yeah, that was a Brighton one from last year. Very good. A lot of stuff in it. You might have that one. You might have that one yourself. I don't know. Say it's not quite as good. It's got the spine as well. This is a stapled one. This new one. Oh, here's Chris. Chris will be a happy bunny, won't you, mate? You'll be very, very happy. Hello, Chris. There's only a couple of you on, mate. Don't worry. I know there's a couple of guys can't get on because they're working, so they might try and get on later if they get home in time. Not anymore. Don't like that. Which app were you doing the home shop, Luke? Or I do from 3 a.m. till about 9 a.m., which isn't is hard work. So what do you plan on doing anything else, Luke? What are you studying, Luke? What are you still studying at college? Chris, what do you think of Chelsea Leicester? Who do you want to win? Will it probably be better if Leicester win, will it? Helping on the tills. Right, Luke. Yeah, I do the home shop, which is all right. It's a bit monotonous. I did it a few years back when I needed some cash, and with this COVID thing, I went back in there and started doing it again. But it's all right. A bit boring. I need a bit more brain work, to be honest with you. I want to career work. Right, okay. Chris, happy beat Manchester United on Thursday. Lucky yesterday to win, but of course you do, Chris. That's what I say. It's looking more likely now, isn't it? You've got who have you got left now? Burnley away and Palace, isn't it? Burnley away and Palace, so they're winnable, and it all really hinges on what happens tomorrow, doesn't it? Because all the goal differences are quite close, aren't they? I think there's only a goal between the three of you, isn't there? So. It'll be interesting to see what the score is tomorrow. But either way, it's back in your own hands, more or less, isn't it? If say just the goal difference is a bit of a bummer, but apart from that, which college do you go to, Luke? Rather Leicester. We can't stand Chelsea. I like Leicester. Glad they will. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the game. I obviously saw that they'd equalise, and then it was obviously chalked off, but. I wouldn't want to lose the Champions League of a close call like that, to be honest with you. It's a bit too close, wasn't it? It's one of those where it's just literally millimeters, isn't it? And how can you be that accurate? You can't. They've already said they can't be that accurate with it, so I don't see why they're persisting with it, but they are, aren't they? Chris, are you getting down for the last? Are you going down for the last game? Did Liverpool have a ballot or anything? Manchester College near Altrincham. Oh well, that's where I live. That's where I live, Luke. Altrincham. I'm not far away. About 10-minute walk from the Women's Sheila. What's that, mate? Wythenshawe, yeah. No, I live in. I don't. Do you know Altrincham at all, Luke? Yeah, so you must be having 10,000 fans at your last game, Chris. Altrincham FC. Yeah, I've never watched them. Never watched them, but say I've only moved to Altrincham about 8-9 years ago. I've lived obviously Manchester, Gorton, and all around there. But yeah, I only moved to Altu. It's all right. It's okay. Famous Moss Lane, yeah, famous Moss Lane. I'm in the ballot. Right. When do you hear back, Chris? Obviously, I didn't get a ticket for mine. I'm gutted I couldn't get a ticket for mine. I'm pretty devastated. And our Champions League information will go on the City site tomorrow, apparently. So we'll know how we're going to be out, how we're getting there, and what we have to do, etc., etc. But I'm a little bit confused. I think people tried to book flights and stuff, but surely they book their own way. They're not going to get a ticket because, from my belief, is you have to do it through the club. But I might be wrong. I just don't know. No, I don't think anyone knows, do they, at the moment? So when do you hear, Chris? When do you hear? When do you get the email about the ballot? Stamford Park, yeah, no, Stamford Park, Luke. Is that up near the post office as well? Is the post office, that big post office near there? Oh, tomorrow, Chris, right, yeah. Well, I hope they do it better than City did our ballot thing. I mean, it was like people were getting them before the Newcastle game, and you didn't know if you were going to get an email to tell you haven't got it or an email just to say you had got it. And I didn't get my email till the day after saying I hadn't got it. So I don't know. It's just, but again, it's just a lack of communication. So you'll be a happy bunny tomorrow, Chris. How do you get down to the games, Chris? How do you get down from up there? How do you get the train down or something like that? Is this Luke? Oh well, I'll be glad about that. I mean, I'm thinking about going down just to soak up the bit of the atmosphere, but I need somewhere to watch the game if I do. That's the problem, and I'm not sure about what the rules are for the pubs and stuff. I'm not sure. I don't know what the rules are. So, I mean, if I can go and watch it somewhere, I'll go down and soak up a bit of the atmosphere on Saturday, even though I'm not obviously can't get in the game, but I'll go and welcome the coach and stuff like that. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see with that. But it'd be nice to have a program. I'll keep checking. Obviously, if City do one, they should do. I mean, there's a crowd there, so they should have a program. Yeah, absolutely, Luke. Can't imagine it being a massive program, to be honest with you. But sure, it'll be all right. Get the train from Carlisle. So how long does that take, Chris? Is it a long journey? Is it, and then are you rushing to get back, or do you hang on a bit in Liverpool when you're going back up to Carlisle, or do you stay the night or anything like that? £5 Champions Review. Oh, right. What's that? Is that through the MEN, Luke? Is that one of these things? There is what it is. There is what it is. There is what it is. That. That is what I'm getting confused. That is what it is. Right. Okay, Luke. Yeah. So it's produced as an overall champions thing rather than just for the Everton program. I'm gauging from that. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the evening news usually do a little supplement, don't they? But I think they'll be waiting until the Champions League's been done and dusted, won't they, before they do anything special? I would have thought. Anyway, without we had that wonderful colour magazine, didn't we, when we had the formidable season? That was pretty good. So we enjoyed that. 2 hours, 30 minutes there and back usually. That's not bad. That's not bad. And it's reliable, is it, Chris? You haven't been stuck in somewhere when it's broken down or anything like that. You've not had any problems over the years. I mean, you're going for a few years, haven't you, I assume? So it's usually a good run. You don't get many problems. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? If I moved away, I mean, I've always wanted to live abroad, but I couldn't really go to many games then, could I? And I would miss football. But if I moved in this country, I'd make an effort to get back on the train or get back on the coach and watch the games and stuff. But yeah, I will be back, mate. No problem, Luke. So Yeah, I think there's something about going on a train. I mean, I think there's something in, Chris, in that. I think it's not. I think it's just. I know it's a bit of a pain. It'd be nice to live around the corner, but I think it's part of the experience, isn't it? Getting the train to home games. I just think, and you're getting a routine. I mean, all these fans that come from all over the country. I mean, you get into some sort of routine and go to these games, whether they go on a coach or they go on a train, and I think that's just part of it. I think that's just part of going to the match experience, isn't it? They say, I think you get used to it. As I said, when you're like me, and I'm used to getting the tram, and I get there in about 45 minutes. I mean, I used to walk when I was a kid, obviously, for the first 10 years of supporting City, I used to walk to the ground, which was fantastic. And but I've driven there, I've got the bus there, I've done various means, but I think walking's the best. If you can walk there and back, and then you can have a few drinks and probably stagger home a lot easier than worrying about getting on the train and stuff like that. So it's the expense, though, Chris, as well. I mean, trains aren't cheap, are they? Can you get do you get a season card for the trains or something like that? I mean, it's not. I say, I don't like traveling on trains because it's usually very, very expensive. That's what I found over time, anyway. How's the darts going, Chris? Is that going all right? And what do you think of Alisson's goal last night? Would you? You couldn't have a bet on him, I don't think. I mean, just looking at the bookies, they don't usually take bets on goalkeepers, which is unusual if you think about it. Because obviously, when you got someone like Edison, who could probably score a goal once in he gets assists, doesn't he? So perhaps he could score a goal once in a while. And obviously, Alisson proved he can score a goal, definitely. But I just laughed because I watched the goal. I watched the goal itself, and no one was marking him. No one even considered going and marking him. It's just so weird. I don't really have a zonal marking at West Brom or whatever, but no one actually sort of went to really mark him. So, I mean, it was a fantastic cross in. I mean, obviously, it was spot onto his head, wasn't it? So he didn't have to do that much apart from sort of point his head in the right direction and let the power of the cross take it. And I think... all credit to him. I say it was good. Obviously we have seen goalies do it. Is it Carlisle have a famous thing for that, don't they? Probably took a little bit of the inner Carlisle. We've not got many on tonight, guys. Only 3 of us at the moment, and I think Luke's gone somewhere for a bit. You and me, Chris. You and me and someone else, but we don't know who the other 3 is, I must admit. But quiet night. I knew it'd be quiet. I had a couple of guys saying they were going back to work, so they'd be struggling to get on because it's with it being a 5 o'clock kickoff sort of thing. But never mind. If you're all right, Chris, I mean, it's just. How are we doing for injuries, Chris? Are all your players coming back now? Is any, obviously apart from Van Dijk, have you sort of getting back all your team now? A little bit late in the day, obviously, but. Ready for next season, get them all fit. They'll have a nice rest anyway, Chris. You should be all firing for next season because some of your players have had nice rests this season, haven't they? So that should be all right. Hello, Andy. You all right, mate? Harry Dowd against Bury. Nice. Yeah, is that when he scored? He scored the goal. Yeah, because was it? Colin Bell was gutty, wasn't he? Because he scored for Bury, and Harry Dowd took his thunder by playing at centre forward, didn't he? So yeah, did he damage his finger? I think it was, but that was. But Mr. Colin Bell was a bit frustrated because he was hoping to get all the headlines. I think it was Colin Bell. Yeah, it was Bury, wasn't it? Of course it was. And then Harry Dowd had to play at number 9. So yeah, I mean, shame, Mr. Our other guy couldn't do it. David James couldn't do when he went up front for Stuart Pearce that time. I thought, but he can be a nuisance. Yeah, Andy. Yeah, I did a thing. Oh, yeah. Obviously, I've done a couple of things for Colin Bell, obviously with the tribute and stuff. And as I say, I did look back, and I actually got his book last week. I've not. I managed to pick that up in like a job lot, quite cheap last week. So I'm gonna get a read of that when I get a chance. I mean, I literally read film magazines and football magazines. I'm just reading King of the Kippax at the moment. So. I literally fall asleep reading because I work early shift, so it's not easy. But Harry Dowd. Yeah, he never apparently, Andy, he wasn't keen on football. He just did it. He wasn't that bothered about football. He just did it, and sort of they had to force him to sort of turn up half the time because he wasn't that keen on playing football. He'd rather be. Was he a plumber? I think he was a plumber or something. It was a tradesman anyway, and I think he wasn't that bothered. I don't think he was that bothered. Yes, I bet it is a good read, mate. As I say, I've got that many. I got a job lot, 5 of them last week for just literally less than a £5. It was unbelievable. Just right place, right time. And Stan Bowles, I got one of him as well. And Feed the Goat, Sean Goater. So there's not enough hours in the day, mate. There's not enough hours to read all these things. I must admit, I do work mainly 7 days a week, and I probably work 6 to 8 hours a day at the moment, so it's really hard to find time to sit and relax and read these things. I watch a lot of films, as you probably know, Andy. If you watch it, he was a plumber, Andy. Yeah, I thought he was a plumber, but I do believe that he wasn't overly bothered. He was because he was quite good at it. I mean, obviously, my first 2 goalkeepers were Ken Mulhern and Harry Dowd when I was watching City, of course, with those 2 goalkeepers, but. Yeah, he couldn't be. He wasn't that bothered. Apparently, he wasn't that bothered about football. He just obviously a few extra quid, I suppose. He made a few quid from it. So that was the old point in those days, I suppose. How old are you, Andy? Were you? How old are you then? Obviously, if you said you remember Harry Dowd, you must. I mean, I think that was a couple of seasons before I went to my first game. You'll have to have 63. You've only got. I'm 62 this year, Andy. So I tell you what, you did well to remember that. I can't. The only thing, what I can remember. The first ththings I can remember would be World Cup Willie was the first thing I remember football wise in 1966, obviously, and I remember having the pictures of City winning the second division title in 1965-66. So I have pictures of that up on my wall in the bedroom, and I remember World Cup Willie. But as far as sort of dead keen going to City's concerned, it's really hard. I do remember them having the trophy left, trophy at the friendly they arranged, didn't they? They played a friendly. First game, Huddersfield, 1964. Fantastic. What's your first away game, Andy? What was your? Do you know that? I know my first away game. I don't know my first home game, unfortunately. I was a bit too young. But I remember that Charity Shield match with West Brom as well. It was it 6-1 in the late 60s. That was one of my first, because I came home from that and thought City would beat everybody. We'd never lose again. We're a fantastic team, at the age of 8 or 9. I just thought that was it. What a fantastic team this was. Southampton last game, 0-0. Right, okay. Yeah. Yeah, my first away game was Liverpool in the FA Cup. There you go. They are Chris, Liverpool, Anfield, FA Cup. 0-0. We did score. Franny Lee scored a goal. I was in the Anfield Road end. Franny Lee scored a goal, but it's disallowed for offside. And then we stuffed them when we got back to Main Road. Man United, 1967, a 3-1 win. Fantastic. Well, my first derby, my very first Old Trafford derby, Andy, was the Dennis Law one. That was my first trip to Old Trafford. I hadn't gone before. That was the first season I started going to games, 73-74 season. So that was my first derby. Wasn't the best derby to go to. Hiya, Luke. How you doing, mate? And he's just reminiscing about his games, etc., and Harry Dowd, etc. How much do you know about them old players, Luke? you watch any of my vlogs to learn a little bit about it, or Gary James's stuff? Are you interested in history? I used to love history as a kid. I must admit, I like general history, not just football history. Pitch invasion game. Yeah, that was the one, mate. Yeah, we were outside at the time, Andy. About 8 of us, all City fans, and it was just all kicking off with the Stretford End paddock. So we just thought, look, we're want to get out of here, lads. You know, it's not worth it, and it's getting a bit nasty. So we were behind the stand when we scored, when Dennis Law scored, and we heard this cheer. We thought United scored because the cheer was that loud, but there's a lot of City fans in the Stretford End paddock, and the cheer was that loud that. We thought United scored, and all these United fans, City scored, blah, 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 like that. So, obviously, we were quite chuffed walking home after that. But, I say, we didn't know it had even been a pitch invasion. We thought we'd won 1-0 because it was that late in the game, obviously. So, we didn't even know about the pitch invasion until we got home, to be honest with you. We hadn't even found that out either. Yeah. Where were you, Andy? Where were you sat at? Andy was at that game as well. Where were you sat? Has the Newcastle one got player picks in the programme like single picks? It's like that, like strips there, you know, like a little bit about them, a little bit about the players. That's how they've done it. And they've got a little thing in the middle about lost grounds. So they got obviously a great picture. I would have preferred them showing an older picture, but obviously a picture of the newer version of Main Road, obviously. But obviously that's in there. We'll tell you what, Andy. I mean, we got in the ground, and literally this City fan came up to us and said, "Don't go in there, mate. It's all kicking off." Because if you do watch the highlights now, it's all United fans in the scoreboard end. If you watch the highlights, so we were pushed to the left hand side towards the paddock where most of the City fans ended up in the scoreboard paddock, but. As I say, I don't sort of know how we sort of got, because there was no goals in the game until that very last minute. I think we got away with it. I think because if someone had scored, I think it would have all kicked off, to be honest with you. But I think we just kept quiet because we knew there's no City fans around, and we were we're only there 13, 14. So I think the oldest guy was 16 of our little troop, you know. So we're not nutter. We weren't tough guys by any means. So. We just kept quiet and watched the game. I don't even remember much about the game. And I said, I didn't even get to see the goal because we were out. We thought we'd go about 5 minutes early. So it was just a total waste of time, really. It was, but I did go back quite a few times after that. I've even stood in with United fans and been spat on and things like that. But nothing untoward. It's always a bit hairy, Old Trafford. It's not a nice place to go, is it? Let's be honest about it. Did you order that Newcastle one, Luke? Did you say you'd ordered it and it's on its way? I said I got mine quite quickly after I ordered it. And that Brighton one, obviously, I got from the Brighton shop, the Brighton club shop. So I had to become a Brighton supporter, though. I had to register and get a fan number. So there you go. I'm now an honorary Seagulls fan. Not that I like them too much after that cup semi-final a couple of seasons ago. I had a bit of a run-in with a couple of their fans as well when we were down at Wembley. I wasn't overly impressed with what they were like, to be honest with you. A bit loud, to say the least. Did you actually see the goal, Andy, or did you actually stay till the end? To say I never used to go early in many games, but it was just because of the circumstances. To be honest with you, we just wanted to get out in one piece. A few early games. I mean, this is it. When I started going to away games, 73, 74, I soon found out the grounds where it wasn't advisable. You know, you had to be very careful, or perhaps not even. Some grounds I didn't even go after that first time I ever went. I never went to some grounds because I couldn't face the possibility of having my head kicked in on a numerous occasions. So it was not very good. Saw the goal and got out. Yeah, it's probably the best thing, mate. Did you cheer? I mean, let's say, because I think a lot of the guys. I mean, we were only young, but I think the older fans were in the Stretford paddock. for that one. Chris, I'm back. Just recorded a Liverpool potential signings video about Yves Bissouma from Brighton. All right, yeah, because I've City been linked with him as well. Bissouma, Chris. I don't think City will be buying much this season, close season. To be honest with you, I think it'll be very quiet. I think a lot of teams will be sort of quiet. I think you might get one or two major purchases, but apart from that. So how many times do you think you've been to Old Trafford, Andy? How many times do you reckon over the years? Oh, God, I'm trying to think. Oh, I don't know. I've not, I'll say 20 times at most. I've been to Old Trafford, say not recently. I've never been able to get a ticket the last few years, but say up to the 90s and 2000s, between 15 and 20 times. I've been to watch City play other teams at Old Trafford as well. We went to the Luton Cup game, and there was another game played at Old Trafford. Chris, I wouldn't sign him because I want attacking midfielder. That's what we're missing, right? Where does he? Is he a defender, Chris? Yeah, you need that. You need a little bit more in that midfield, don't you? I mean, is Milner going? Is Milner still there? Has he got another season in him, James Milner, or is he going off now? Yeah, I'll leave the vlogs of signing players to people like JSGC. Seems to know all these. I mean, there's no point me doing stuff like that because I know very little, and obviously most of what JSGC says is 99.9% of what he comes out with never comes true. So I don't really see the point. It's just speculation, isn't it? Should we sell Sterling? There we go. That's a good one. Defensive and central midfielder, right, Chris? Yeah. Cheers. Should we sell Sterling? Chris, do you want Sterling back? I think we should sell him. I don't see where he's going. He's a City player. I'll stick up for him while he's on the pitch, but Pep must see it. The coaching staff must see it. We see it. We can't. There must be something wrong. I just don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on with Raheem Sterling. Would we get a lot of money for him? Probably not, to be honest with you. And perhaps going somewhere else, he'll improve. I don't know, but I don't know. If you play for a good team, surely that'll lift you up. And he's just not been playing very well. He's another winner. Right, Ronaldo, basically there. Yeah, well, as I said, like you said, Chris, you need something. I think you need something a bit more positive. Did you say? Did they ask about Milner? Is Milner sort of obviously he's must be on his last legs, but he's completely has. Well, Andy, I think he has. I don't know what's going on with Raheem. To be honest with you, I don't think anyone does. And it'd be interesting just to sit down with Pep and analyse. But he'll defend him to the hilt, won't he? I'll take Basura. We also signed. Well, yeah. That's right. It's a squad. Well, that's it, Chris. Your squad, isn't it? Because it's been stretched this season, hasn't it? To be honest with you, that's where we gained because we had such a large squad, and we've been able to sort of put players in when we had our injuries, and then once we haven't got the injuries, he's got a wealth of riches to play. But obviously, Liverpool has struggled this season. They sort of got away a little bit with it last season, but this season it's sort of come home to roost, hasn't it? So. You need to improve and get numbers as well. We'll increase that squad numbers as well of good players, not just average players, but good players. Right, yeah, because he must be 40 odd, Chris Milner, mustn't he? He must be getting into his 40s now, surely. You can keep. Yeah, Chris. Unfortunately, yeah, I think that's probably the case. I'd sign Jack Grealish to replace Andy. I don't like him. I don't like Jack Grealish. I don't know what it is. It's just something about him. I'm not overly fond of him. I just don't like him. I mean, I certainly think he'd probably be better than Sterling. I'm not saying he wouldn't, but it's just something about his character. I'm one of these guys who doesn't like to sign a player who I don't feel fits the team ethic of nice guys and good guys, and I've not a lot of time for Grealish, but I appreciate his skill set, but he's one of these. My heart says no. Again, Sancho. Shouldn't be. I don't think he is, Chris, anymore. I don't think Sterling is in the world-class category. He's an international player. You can't deny that. But I don't think he is world-class anymore by a long way. He's never even talked about like that now. And he's a Pep-type player. Well, this is it, Andy. At the end of the day, Pep's the boss, isn't he? But obviously, we've got him for another 2 years. Will he stay longer? I doubt it very much. So, what's going to happen when Pep goes. But at the end of the day, Pep's in charge and he'll choose. But we're going to pay. They want 80 million for him, Andy. 80 million pound. We're not going to pay 80 million pound for a player like Grealish. I don't care. I mean, we might pay 80 million pound for Haaland, but we won't pay 80 million pound for Jack Grealish. I don't think. No, he's more a 50, 60 million guy, if that, and that's too much for me. But there you go. But as you say, Pep, and I said this. I don't think a lot of the clubs have got the money to splash this time, have they? I think obviously we'll get a good reward from the Champions League again this season. But I was reading Colin Savage's thing about income and stuff, and we do have money. We got still, we're okay, but I don't think there's any. That's why I never think we'll get Haaland, because he wants too much money. It does sound a lot, Andy. It does. I think. What do you think, Chris? 80 million for Grealish. What do you think? Luke, what do you think about Grealish? I mean, do you like Sancho, Luke? Is he someone you like personally? Isn't he supposed to be going to United? Don't know. I heard he's going to United. I don't know. Again, the sort of jury's out on that one. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, Chris, like I said, I don't think Sterling will be classed as world class anymore. Certainly not by City fans, I don't think. And obviously, people aren't daft. People see him and watch him, and they know he's it's not as though he's doing stuff in training. He's fantastic and not showing it on the pitch. I mean, he's just gone. He's just literally gone, and I don't know why. I'm tending to think of stick him out on the wing and trying to get him to get balls into the box for players like Werner does for Chelsea. I mean, because of his pace and what he is, I always think Werner, stick him on the wing, and if he scores the odd goal, fair enough. But if he creates it with his pace, that's what we want. Luke, for Jack G, should not go over 80 for me. Yeah, as I said, Luke, not for 80 million, mate. I mean, he's Aston Villa slapped an 80 million price tag on him. Even if they said you could have him for 70, no. Pep will know that. He's not daft. Pep's not always got the players he wanted, and he knows that, and he has to make do with what he's got, and he improves players, so he does make do with what he's got. That's fine. Hi, T-Mac. How you doing, mate? Nice goalkeeper jersey from... yeah, how did you know it from 2001-02? I had to check. I forgot. This was worn playing on the pitch at Main Road. This was playing a charity match. So this is an actual Main Road worn shirt on the pitch. We didn't get too mucky. I didn't even wash it. There's hardly anything on it. There's hardly any muck on it. I didn't do too much diving about. Do you need Grealish? Probably not, Chris. I think we need someone, but it's not Grealish. You're probably spot on there, mate. Luke, thoughts on Scott Carson? Oh, bless him. Bless his cotton socks. I'll tell you what, but if he's good for morale, I'll do that for I'll do that for minimum wage if they want. I'm not bothered. I'll cheer up morale, but that penalty save, I just want to say, I did say in my review, I thought he should have done better with it. I think to actually put it back in the path of the player was wrong. I think, but he overdove, but that he still should have perhaps done a little bit better. So I'm being a bit mean, but all credit to him. At least he got a game. We do, Chris, but well, that's one of the questions I was going to ask tonight. Whether we have already got the striker to replace. To replace him. Have we got? Can he turn Torres? We know what Pep can achieve. Well, can he turn Torres into a number 9? And that means we wouldn't need the striker, Chris. If he can do that, he's already admitted he's got a natural ability to score goals, and we've seen that. Not just this game, we've seen it in other games as well. But when he's stuck out on the wing, he tends not to get involved too much. So there you go. Yeah, cheers to you, Matt. Yeah, I love it. We won as well. Gary Owen was their manager, and Peter Barnes was our manager, so I had a good chat with him, and we won 10-3 in the end, but I only did one half. We were winning 3-1 at half time, so I did let a goal in. I don't want to say I got dummied by I ended up on my bum and got dummied, and he took it round me, but there you go. We can't have everything. I was 42. I stopped playing when I was about 34, so I mean, all credit, it wasn't too bad. Yeah, Luke, he is a great bloke. I mean, that's what they need. I mean, it's just good to have around the place, isn't it, Luke? Scott Carson. I think T-Mac, I think Grealish should be about 40, 50. Absolutely, T-Mac. I can't see any. I just said before, I think anything up to 60 is pushing it, 40, 50. But even at that, I'm not overly impressed, to be honest with you. Chris, Kane more realistic than Haaland, and Haaland removes Raiola as his agent. Yeah, well, it's never going to happen, Raiola as his agent, Chris, to be honest with you. I think it's cloud cuckoo land thinking that Haaland's going to end up at City. And Kane, I mean, how much do they want for Kane? They're going to want a big amount for Kane, aren't they? And again, if it's starting getting over 70 million, I think City will bulk at that. I don't think we'll pay more than 70 million plus any sort of silly wages he might be asking for. He'll have to obviously come and accept what he can get. T-Mac, must have been a great day. Barnes, yeah, they were good. I tell you what, T-Mac, Gary Owen was going absolutely ballistic. I mean, it was only a friendly charity game. With his team, he was going absolutely ballistic at them. And me and Barnes, he was sort of laughing our heads off at him because we were sort of Barnes, he obviously he was just having a bit of fun, a bit of a laugh. But Gary Owen was taking it very seriously. He didn't like getting beaten. To get beat 10-3 was a bit too much for him. So we did have a bit of a laugh at Gary Owen's expense, unfortunately. Torres exciting to watch every time he gets the ball. Well, yeah, that's it, Luke. But there's a lot of games where he hasn't quite done that, is there? There's a lot of games where he's sort of. I wanted him to sort of run down the wing and actually beat people, but he's not always done that. But he's obviously shown his prowess in front of goal. So, stick him there, stick him in the middle. If you're going to play a false nine or whatever it is, have him running around that middle bit and I'm thinking for the Brighton game, having Sterling on one side and Mahrez on the other side, and see how he does. Because I don't think he's played himself into the Champions League final team by any means. But Pep said he's got two systems in mind. But we'll talk about that in a sec. Haaland can be lazy. Yeah, he's not a Pep player. I mean, in a way, he made Aguero work harder, didn't he, Luke? He made Pep got the best out of Aguero. He became more, but not 100%, but he became more coming back for balls and trying to do things as well. Today's man. Well, T-Mac, they shouldn't be now, should they? I mean, there should be a little bit of reining in with this COVID thing. The actual transfer fee shouldn't be anything silly, should they? They should be reined in a bit now. But they all seem to still want silly money. And if they're going to ask for silly money, players are going to be stuck at clubs they don't want to play for. That's the problem. T-Mac, person, not a Kane fan. Well, it's a bit like Grealish for me, T-Mac. I don't like his personality. I'm very much, if a player's not got a nice personality, I mean, let's face it, he's a bit of a dirty get, Kane. Let's be honest about it. He can be injury prone as well. And I don't want players who are a bit dirty. I don't want that in particular. I mean, you could call Fernandinho dirty. I don't think he is. It's but Jerry, if you go back to some of the other guys we've had, I mean, but Kane's just nasty with it. It's just snidey. I don't like snidey dirtiness. You can be a hard player, but Kane's just a bit. He does everything a little bit snidey, doesn't he? If you sort of know what I mean. I think Son at Spurs will be better fit all-round play team. Yeah, I think Son plays better with certain players as well. And I think playing with our lot, I think it'd bring a lot out of him. I think it'd be a lot better. I think Son would be improved. Would be improved with City even more than he is with Tottenham. We know Pep improves players anyway, but I bet Chris would like Son as well. I bet there's a few clubs would like Son. I do like Son. All right, mate. All right, Chris, you get your tea. Let me know what you're having when you get back. Jack Grealish, can they dive? Well, yeah, well, this is it. Well, Kane's not. Kane's has this habit of backing into defenders and getting fouls, even though he's obviously fouled the defender in the first place by looking where they are and backing him or giving him an elbow or something like that. And I just don't like that in a player. I just think it's snidey and horrible. But Jack Grealish, well, he can have a moan as well, can't he, Luke? Jack Grealish is not bad at diving and he can have a moan as well. But I don't know how many has he scored this year. Has he scored a lot this year? Has he got many assists? I don't particularly know. I think Villa have played all right, haven't they? But I don't know at the moment. I just think Pep will make do, to be honest with you. I don't think there's going to be any major signings. I'd be surprised if there is, to be honest with you. I'll put my team up that I think is going to play against Brighton. But I think Brighton and Everton, I don't think he's going to show his hand, is he? I don't think he's going to show his hand for the Champions League final. So I think he's going to start mixing and matching. If you agree with that. Hello, Blackpool. How you doing, mate? Get over your... Yeah, I have, Blackpool. Well, I'm not really, no. but yes, no and yes. I'm waiting to see what the ticket position is for the Champions League final tomorrow, Blackpool. See what that's going to cost, what we're going to have to fork out for that, but and how many points you'll need and what the chances are of getting one of the 6,000 tickets, which is not a bad quantity, is it? Once you take away all the... commercial and sponsors, perhaps there'll be about 5,000 for the fans at least, or something like that. I don't know. And then we'll see how many points. I've not got the most points in the world, but a lot of people might be put off by a day trip to Porto. But I mean, how they are, I don't know. How many chances like this do we get in our lives? You know what I mean? All right, if you're younger, you might get a few more, but guys like me, I mean, I'm not going to try and miss the opportunity of getting to the Champions League final. Well, that Everton game, yeah, a bit miffed, but what can you do? It's is what it is, as we all say, don't we? What do you think about the Belgian at Leicester, Tielemans? Well, there's been a lot of things about Tielemans, haven't there? I've been quite impressed in and out. I think he's a certainly better option than that other guy in midfield that he used to bang on about that plays for England. I can't remember his name now, but again. Is a player with better play. I mean, Leicester have got a good team, don't get me wrong, but with better players around him, with Pep in charge, he'll look a far better player again, I think, Tielemans. A couple of tickets, only got, 11, that's 4,000 more than me, Blackpool. I've only to say, someone asked me the other day about my points. I said, well, to be honest with you, most of my points came in the 70s, the 80s and the early 90s before this loyalty scheme, this ticket thing came into being. So I've literally had to survive on home points and stuff from then. So I do struggle. But 11,000, hopefully you'll be... I'll tell you what, if you can get one, hopefully I'm hoping I can get one soon after. Danny Drinkwater. Yeah, he's one of them. There's another one guy. Who's the other? Madison. Sorry, Madison I was thinking of, Luke. The other one that people rave about, but I'm not overly impressed. I think Tielemans is the best of that bunch, I think. Danny Drinkwater. Yeah, well, Blackpool, my lad, oh, well, I'll have to be going on my own, though, because my lad hates the UEFA. He doesn't even subscribe to the ticket scheme for the Champions League. He can't stand UEFA, so even for me, for this, he probably wouldn't go, even if he got the chance of getting a ticket, which there's no guarantee of that. I think he's got a few less points than I have, but I think he's got about 10 more or something stupid like that. But yeah, I'll be on my own. Well, I won't be on my own, will I? I mean, there'll be another, 5,000 or 6,000 City fans, but you know what I mean. I'm going to have to go. I'd love to go with my lad, but he's not been too well as either as well, so. He'll be fine. He's okay now. He'll be fine. Be fine by the end of May. But I don't think he'll want to go anyway. So I'm not preempting anything, but I don't think he will. Blackpool fan then? No, he's just from Blackpool, Luke. He's a City fan. I agree with your side. Pep needs to give his final. Yeah, this is what I'm thinking, Andy. I think he'll mix and match for Brighton and Everton, and I don't think he'll show his hand. I don't think he'll play a team that's likely to play in the Champions League. I don't think he'll play a team that's totally a B team either, like he has played a couple of times recently. I think he'll mix and match to give players time, because I don't think KDB is going to be playing, but he'll have to feature in the Everton game at some stage. And if it means he picks up an injury, because at the end of the day, he could get to the final and get injured in 5 or 10 minutes if he's not match fit. So he's got to prove that he is match fit, because I think these two options that Pep was talking about, he's got two ideas for the final. I think one idea is without KDB, and his other idea is with KDB. That's what I think. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but I think that when he talks about two ways of playing this game against Chelsea, I think that's basically what it'll be, with KDB and without KDB. T-Mac, not keen on Madison. No, I think I don't like Madison. That is your problem. I think a couple of years ago, when he first came onto the stage, T-Mac, he looked all right, but not really. Not really like what Mrs. works for the club. Yeah, Well, I've got a cousin who used to live in Blackpool, and we used to call him horrible names, but he's a City fan. He used to come and we used to give him a bit of stick, but he's called Joe Hart, believe it or not. And his dad was called Joe Hart, and he was called Joe Hart, and he lived in Blackpool. He rang up for tickets one day, and he thought he was taking the mick, because he said, I can have 2 tickets, and who were they for? And he said, well, one's for me, Joe Hart, and the other one's for my dad, Joe Hart. So it was quite funny, but yeah, he lives around here now. He lives in Denton now, but he used to live in Blackpool for a long. Bispam in Blackpool. I used to go up there and visit him. Bispam, Blackpool. Obviously, he used to have a shop there, a little shop, about 4-story house, massive thing, really nice. Torres starts again. Yeah, I think. Well, yeah. See, I've put Torres in there, hoping Mahrez and Sterling. See if he can score any more. If it's just a flash in the pan, because we know he can, because he's done it before. But if Pep might have a third system in mind, not just this other 2 systems where need be. And let's face it, if things aren't going well, perhaps we'll have to fling a striker on, and perhaps Torres is going to fit that bill. If Aguero seizes up or whatever, he might put Torres instead of Aguero. We all want to see Aguero, don't we? But we know he's not the same player that he was. From Denton Luke, but lived by the seaside now, Blackpool. Well, there you go, Blackpool. My cousin Joe, he lived in Blackpool for a long time, and now he lives in Denton, so he's done the opposite to you. He's gone from Blackpool to Denton, and you've gone the opposite way. Yeah, does anyone see anything wrong with that team? As I said, I don't. I think he'll make 4, 5, 6 changes now for the next 2 games. I don't think he'll do 8 or 9 changes, which he has in the past. And Ederson's playing, isn't he? So we know Ederson's going to play in the next 2 games. Walker wasn't great, was he, against Newcastle the other night? But hopefully he'll get that out of his system. He'll be okay. What did you all think about the ticket, the way they did the tickets for Everton? Do you think it was fair, or do you think they sort of cocked up there with how they allocated the ballot? I mean, they have to do it, don't they? I mean, they have to do it somehow. They have to, and however way they do it, it's never going to work perfectly, is it? But there's a few people a bit upset. Does he live in my old house? Well, he lives near. I watched a couple of City games there. He lives near Crown Point, and then if you're going to your left to go over the bridge to the motorway, if you're at Crown Point, you turn left, go over the bridge. There's like flats up there opposite a pub. There's a pub on the opposite side, a big United pub apparently. I saw loads of United fans in there every time I went down if United were playing. And he lives in a block of in a flat there, around there somewhere. I don't know what road it is. But if you carried on that road towards Ashton, if you're going to Ashton from Denton, so he's on that road there. T-Mac, as long as I don't see Garcia in the City shirt again, he's fine. Yeah, I don't. People said about hate, there's a lot of hate for Garcia. I don't hate Garcia. I just don't see the point. I just don't see why he's there. I mean, he didn't play well the other night again. I have no idea what Barcelona want to see him. I have no idea what Pep sees in him. Obviously, he sees something, but then again, probably Sterling would never play again if he didn't see something, would he? Because he must see something somewhere. Because Pep's not daft. He's not going to play players that are just a waste of space. So perhaps Garcia shows something more than we see. I'm not really sure. No, Mendy won't. Mendy's he'll be nowhere near that Champions League team, will he? He might. Yeah, I don't even, as you say, Andy, I don't particularly want him to play in the last 2 games either. I mean, I don't think they should. He should be getting Zinchenko practice or Cancelo at left back or something like that rather than Mendy. T-Mac, when I saw the team sheet the other night, he was the one selection I wasn't impressed with. He'll be dumped by Bar. So he must be T-Mac. I don't understand it. I mean, we're not, all right, we're not there in training. We don't go to the training and see all what's going on, but we've seen Garcia now. And how many games have we seen Garcia playing? We must have seen, I must have watched him 10, 12 times, I don't know, 15 times, perhaps. I don't know, and I just don't understand. I just don't understand. He looks better with better players with him, but look at that defence against Newcastle. I mean, we had the smallest centre halves I can think of again. I mean, no wonder we struggled from corners and stuff like that. But obviously I don't know how Pep did that. I mean, he didn't want to risk any of his big lads, I suppose, but it just seems a bit odd. Blackpool, yeah, it's a shame if you've been a season card 30 years and don't get one, as someone who's only had a season card. That's how it is. Blackpool, yeah. I mean, obviously, was it guys over 22,000? Did they get guaranteed a ticket? I couldn't quite understand how they were doing it when I read through, and I got tired of reading through it. I must have been tired or something, but yeah, it's hard, isn't it? It's it's like I've never always been able to afford a season card. I've been very lucky the last few years. I've been able to get one again, but on and off in life, when the kids were little, stuff like this, I couldn't always afford it. So, and to say even in the late 2000s, I was struggling a bit because my business went under and everything. Like I had personal problems. So, but if I could get to a game, I physically bought a ticket and went, but I didn't have a season card, and obviously it costs more, which is annoying, but that's what you do. But there's no perfect way, and I think they have to come up with a way. But the Champions League surely is just going to be points basis. I would have thought points. Are they going to include the cup scheme? They've only got 10 days to sell the tickets. I'm hoping we sell the tickets. I'm hoping we don't get shown up and don't sell the tickets. That'll be very disappointing. We get enough stick, don't we, year in, year out, and we can't sell out Wembley and all this rubbish. But I do hope they actually, people do want to go. I mean, I'll be gutted if people don't want to go, and then it'd be embarrassing as City fans, to be honest with you. Blackpool used to live right on Crown Point, Acre Street. Yeah, well, I know Acre Street. It rings a bell, mate. I used to have Blackpool. When did you live there? I used to have a video shop in Horton Green. You probably know if you watch any of my vlogs from 1995 to 2008. So there you go. But, so I wasn't far. I used to spend a lot of my life in and around Denton. T-Mac, look at Diaz when he wanted to go back and play for Real Madrid. Wasn't long before he was shipped out to Milan on loan. Surplus, in other words. Same will happen with Garcia at that. Yeah, as I say, I don't think he's good enough, mate. And Barcelona need good players, don't they? I don't think he's a good player. I like to see Aki up his game. I think, I don't know what. Again, he had a bit like Walker. I thought it was very poor, and yet he can look really good. I think Aki's another one that he needs someone good with him. I think obviously the pressure of having Garcia next to him probably told on him. I don't think he perhaps sort of did his best, to be honest with you. I think he's better with better players. And do you need that in a defending? They need to stand like Stonesy on it. So I think Stonesy now, I sort of rely on him again now. But I went through a phase where I didn't really rely on him unless he was alongside Diaz. But now I sort of rely on him on his own again. But Aki's not had much chance. Again, Aki's got potential, I think. And Aki's another one that perhaps will come on in years to come, to be honest with you. We're not quite seeing the best of him. He's not been playing regular enough, but I don't mind Aki. But I say he's a bit small. That's the only problem. I still worry about City from corners with this zonal marking and stuff. We do look a bit soppy, don't we? From, and Chelsea got quite two or three quite tall players. I mean, if they play them, I do worry about things like that, I must admit. And Aki's just to say he's all right. He gets up, but I wouldn't say he was a fantastic leaper to get in the air and jump, to be honest with you. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Diaz and Stones, and then even Laporte are going to take some shifting. As if you've got three quality centre backs, that'll do for me anyway. And obviously have Aki in reserve, and perhaps another one next season. See who comes through. Perhaps one of the younger players. Taylor Harwood-Bellis. He's not tall, is he? But I think some of the younger players are going to give a bit more of a chance next season. Blackpool used to live opposite Acre Arms, but that was in the 60s before we moved on to Chadderton, where we had an offie. Oh, an offie in Chadderton, very posh Blackpool. I know it's not. I'm only kidding. T-Mac, it's like when Lescott played alongside Vinny, he improved. Absolutely. This is it. They bring the best out of players, don't they? And they know they can rely on them. But as soon as you put them next to a young player or an inexperienced player, they don't look the same, do they? As I say, I've got more faith in, say, Stones now. But you put Stones next to Garcia, I don't think you'll probably get as good a player as you do, obviously, when he's next to Laporte or Diaz, sort of thing. So there you go. I mean, but Lescott's, hey, Jolie Lescott was top of the league, wasn't he? Was it Jolie Lescott who used to sing that about before Raheem Sterling? Luke, yeah, are you back, mate? Mate? How do you want next after? Oh, Luke, good grief. I'm still getting over not getting a ticket for Everton. You're asking me what to do after Pep goes. I don't know. I always fancied Pochettino in the old days, but I've gone off him. I don't know much about the European managers, but I'm sure they'll find someone of Pep's sort of ilk and philosophy, and that's all we can ask, really. I mean, I can't imagine Arteta coming back. Can you? Can Vinny do a job? Vinny with Zab as his head coach? Who knows? I don't know. I don't want to think about it too much, Luke. What do you think? Anyway, let me turn it on its head. Who do you think? As I say, I'm not overly au fait on European managers. I have no worry with that. He's a good player. Blackpool, there you go. As I said, I think he is a good player. I think he needs time. In the same way, about 3 weeks ago, I think I was saying Torres needs time, and all of a sudden he's the next best thing, isn't he? After that hat trick, but I think people are too quick to jump to. We know certain players now. We know players like Mendy. He's reached his limits now. He's not going to get any better. But players like Torres and Ake are going to get better. Let's be honest about it. They are going to improve, and we know that. We're not stupid. We can see that from what we see. Perhaps Cancelo will improve as well. Cancelo, but as you say, he had a purple patch, and he's gone off the boil a little bit. Hello, Chris. You all right, mate? What did you have, Chris? Brendan Rodgers, Andy. Well, I did think Brendan Rodgers a few years back as well, but I'll probably get shot for that. But I don't disagree with Brendan Rodgers particularly, but I don't think he's probably fit the bill, to be honest with you, in a couple of years' time. I think it'll be someone else. It'll be some European manager. It's not probably pulled up trees yet, as I say, but I don't know who. Them pens are very soft, VAR inconsistent. I couldn't believe how Liverpool's pen was overturned against United. That was more of a pen than the two given against us on Friday. I didn't see that, T-Mac. I heard the uproar and stuff like that. But, VAR, I just want to get rid. I mean, can we not just boycott VAR and get the teams to boycott it and say we're not going to play in the Premier League while this VAR is still in existence? Can the clubs not get together and do that? Is there no reason? Just rely on the referees again and just have it for, or just have it for certain things. Don't have it for these stupid offside decisions that literally about like a gnat's midge bloody difference in the offside. It's. Just change it, but I don't know. To her to say on the moment, said Luke. Too hard to say at the moment. It is, Luke. It is very hard to say about a new manager. Let's worry about it in 2 years, eh? Team at Barchester United. There you go, Barchester United. That's it. But there you go. Well, they've had a few penalties, haven't they, mate? But has that always been VAR? It's just the referee agreeing. Spaghetti and meatballs. Well, what have I got tonight, Chris? I have no idea. Oh yeah, I've got spag bowl tonight, Chris. So very similar to you. Who was the referee on Friday? It was come on, guys. Who was it? I forgot. It's Stuart Atwell tomorrow. I know that for the Brighton game. Oh, I can see. I'm looking at his face now. I can see his image. Friend. Is it Friend? Yep, that's it. See, Matt. Yeah, Kevin Friend. Absolutely. Kevin Friend. Absolutely useless. I can't remember who was on VAR as well, but there you go. Chris, if we're not going to use VAR properly with proper people with a brain and scrap it, I'm running out of patience with it. It's like trying to get TV signals to work on a TV. Bloody shamble. Chris, it's absolutely awful. Do other countries have as much problem as we do with VAR? Is it just our incompetence that is doing it? But as I say, I'd have it for, I don't know what. I mean, goal line technology is fine. What would you have VAR for? I mean, I wouldn't have it for offsides for a start. I think this offside, and I think the linesman not putting his flag up till late on and stuff. I think that's rubbish. I think that's ruined it as well. I think that's absolute garbage. I just think the whole thing is rubbish, and I think they should say the clubs, just the Premier League clubs. Who's got the power? Have we got the power, or the referees got power? Just tell the Premier League clubs just to say, right, we're not having it. Or can they not do that? Is it? Am I being naive? I mean, I am being naive because they won't. But I mean, why can't they do it? That's what I'm saying. It's used better in other countries. I'm sure it is, Chris. I mean, we've had it in the Champions League, which is a bit of a pain, but it never seems to be as off in the Champions League. We've sort of things a bit more straightforward. The offside calls are a joke, and they absolutely consistently. I mean, as I said, I didn't want Chelsea to do anything in the FA Cup final, but you look at that. But it's not good whinging about it because that's happened to teams, every team in the league probably all season. Them sort of decisions from an armpit offside to whatever. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I did say when they kicked off this first VAR, if you have to start drawing lines, forget it. Just say it's on. Go with the on-field decision. That's all you have to do. So once you start drawing lines, so if you don't have to draw a line, it's fair enough. Come to a decision. But as soon as you start drawing blue and red lines, forget it. It's rubbish. Luke, never liked VAR. Luke McBride, you're right, mate. I make it like cricket, like the captains use it, and if they make a mistake, lose it. Yeah, just get where they can challenge it. You can challenge it 2 or 3 times, Luke. You're quite right. Got 2 Lukes now. Got Luke Mack and Luke Chadwick. So there we go. Luke Mack will, absolutely. At least do that, and at least give it as a challenge. And all right, they will challenge it. Obviously, if they've not used one, it's getting towards the end of a game. But why? So what? I mean, it's only like cricket. As you say, you lose a challenge if you make a mess of it, so it's up to the captains, isn't it? But there you go. If Sterling's a captain, he'd probably cock it up anyway, but there you go. I'll be more comfortable with being able to hear what is being said. The offside, yeah. I mean, this is it, team out. You don't know what they're saying to each other. It's just all wrong. Chris Welch, you wonder why? Maybe because it's foreign referees to start off and they get a brain, bloody hell. I know we were born, but I didn't realise our referees born with no brains. All right, yeah. Chris, we're supposed to have the most money-making Premier League. Why don't we import? Why don't we just say, right, we're going to import some of the best referees? Like we nick the best players. Let's nick the best referees from other countries. All right, you too, Luke. So you get on all right. I'm not bad, thanks, but there we go. It's nice to see the Lukes getting on. All we need now is Luke Skywalker to come on, and we've sorted, aren't we, guys? The force is with us. Champions of England, Charlie. Absolutely. Evening, mate. How are you doing, pal? We are the champions of England. We know what we are. I tell you what, the only reason I want to beat Chelsea in this Champions League final is so we can ram that stupid song of Champions of Europe. You'll never sing that. Ram that stupid song for nothing more than that reason. To ram that stupid song and sing it back at them. That'd be funny. We can just, at the end of that match in Porto, just to sing that back to them. Champions of England, we'll never sing that. Just as a piss take. How wonderful would that be, eh? That'd be absolutely fantastic. Mike Dean, Luke. Not got a ticket, Charlie. I didn't even get on the reserve list, so I might go if we can find somewhere to watch it, just to soak up the atmosphere outside. But I don't know where I'm going to be able to watch it near. I mean, I assume Mary D's. You can't go. I don't know. You have to eat, don't you? You have to be. If you're inside, you have to be eating. I just don't know what the rules are at the moment. So I'm gutted, Charlie. I was devastated the other day when I got. Well, I didn't get the mail. I got the mail the next day to say I was unsuccessful. But obviously, I was gutted when everyone was getting theirs and they're dead happy. And it ruined the Newcastle game for me, to be honest with you, Charlie. I was a bit really fed up watching the Newcastle game because I knew I hadn't got a ticket for the Everton game. So it's a shame, but that's how it is. But hey, there's a lot of people in my position, so. We have to get on with it, don't we? Who are the best away fans at the Etihad? Luke, flipping heck. I don't find anyone outstanding. Any of you guys think? And there's no one that springs to mind, to be honest with you. I mean, they're all quite good at the winning, but obviously over the last few years, they've not been winning that many, have they? So, I mean, even United are absolute garbage unless they're winning. I mean, they're terrible. And most of the big clubs are. I mean, Palace have got a reputation. I've always thought they're overrated away from Palace. They're all right at Palace, but they're no good at away grounds. So obviously, the foreign games probably, but I don't like the zombie chanting that these European teams do anyway. I'm not into that, banging drums and zombie chanting. But yeah, anyone else think of best away fans at the Etihad? No one's ever. I never ever thought, these are great fans. To be honest with you, I mean. You know, that's how I think. Well, I'm also, Charlie, I was hoping to do something, but I mean, even if I don't get a Champions League ticket, I say we'll know a bit more about that tomorrow. I don't know what's going on with that either, but you know, I'm hoping they can put screens in the Etihad or something like that. But obviously, they can't do it for Saturday, for Sunday, obviously. But yeah, they got to do something, surely, Charlie. I mean, but we would have heard something by now, wouldn't we? I would have thought, mate, if they were doing something. Yeah, it would be brilliant if they could do it, but I don't know. That Croatia team. Yeah, I like the small, when the European fans are the smaller clubs, I like that. I like it when they make a lot of noise. I'm not some of the bigger clubs like Barca and Madrid and stuff don't make a lot of noise anyway. It's always these smaller European clubs that make all the noise, isn't it? It's like Schalke in Germany. They're the best supported team in Germany, and they're fantastic atmosphere and stuff like that. And yet, I think they're getting relegated, aren't they, this year? But there you go. Yeah, Luke. Yeah, I do like that, but there is a borderline zombie chanting with it, where it doesn't matter what's happening on the pitch. It's just the same draw. I mean, it's all right. We do it on the singing section. We just sing a song for like 10 minutes non-stop. There's nothing to do with what's going on the pitch. But if there's a sudden attack or something happens, we actually react. A lot of these European fans don't seem to react to the game. They're just too busy making a noise. T-Mac, remember the state of Stamford Bridge, like playing on the beach? Yeah, it was. Some Chelsea fans don't probably have a clue about that. Yeah, I've had rows with Chelsea fans, T-Mac, over the past. I'm not looking forward to that. My sort of Twitter, I've got rid of all the deadwood now. I just have good City fans on my Twitter. I don't have any nutters on. I've wheedled them out over the years, but I've had one or two set twos with Chelsea fans. I used to go on a Chelsea fans channel. I don't know if you remember that young lad. I don't know what his name was now, but he doesn't seem to do him anymore. But you couldn't tell him anything. You know, as far as he was concerned, City are a small club, and that's what a lot of, that's coming from a Chelsea fan. I mean, says it all, really, doesn't it? Lech Poznan, yeah, they were very good. Lech Poznan. Second division on a regular Lech Poznan. Was it Dynamo Zagreb when they took all their shirts off? Oh no, it was bloody freezing, wasn't it, Charlie? Remember that? I thought it must be bloody mad. I mean, are these Russian teams and Eastern Europeans? They do it, don't they? I mean, if I took mine off, the stadium had empty, but everyone would run away in fright. But there you go. They don't care, do they? And that Newcastle fan used to do it, I think. Didn't that big Newcastle fan? Remember him taking his shirt off all the time? The same guy. Right, Andy. Cheers, mate. Congratulations on all your blogs, but you're doing a great job. It's great to talk about. It's great to talk about. Yeah, cheers, Andy, mate. Thanks for coming on, pal. You enjoy your tea. Have one for me. Have a great one, and come on. We'll win tomorrow, eh? That'll be dead chuffed. T-Mac, Schalke are top. Cheers, Andy. Schalke are top club in Germany in the doldrums. Yeah, they are. So, did they get relegated, T-Mac? I think that. Thoughts on the programme, how to make it better? Well, they want to go back to some of the older programmes we used to do. I looked through some of the older ones of the turn of the century, like around the 90s and early 2000s, Luke. There's some great programs, and there's lots of stuff for kids in them as well. You should get little pull-out things at the back. Remember those? That's about the mid-2000s, and obviously that was when, we probably won a few awards then as well. But I say they've got to have a good mix, haven't they? And there's lots of stuff they could put in them, but yeah, go back to that and have a lot of more ex-players, a lot more history stuff for me. But that's me, isn't it? At the end of the day, and someone who knows modern football and what's going on, and just get everything City orientated into it, and a little bit about who we're playing as well. I don't mind that. I don't mind learning a little bit about the guys we're playing. Second division regular. I was ref to Chelsea back in the day. All right, cool. Referring to Chelsea, right? Yeah. Absolutely, T-Mac. Can't be the old match programs. No, I say certainly from the sort of, I look for obviously 70s and 80s ones are okay, but obviously it's the 90s and 2000s ones that sort of improved vastly, didn't they? Yeah, well, Luke, but I mean, I have heard that I'm sure someone said to me they only sell about 5,000 programs a game. But I did say on one of the vlogs, it's not out yet today. I said, what is wrong? Why did they not try and push subscriptions? We must have tens of thousands of people in the UK who would buy a subscription to the City programme. They must have thousands abroad who would buy subscriptions. They never seem to bother pushing it. They never do anything. I don't understand it. And I think that's because they just want to get rid of it, basically. They just want to go digital all the time. I think I'm probably right in saying that. Do you think, Luke and you other guys? Yeah, King of the Kippax is the programme. Yeah, that's it, Luke Mac. But say Dave's getting a bit long in the tooth now. I mean, I don't know how long. I'm sure he'll be going for a few more years yet. But that is the only hard copy at the moment we can actually look at and enjoy, and that's good. Getting the fans' view as well, and that's important. I think that's important in the programme as well. Getting the fans' view. It's all right getting ex-players, which I said, but get the fans' view as well. You know, we don't get enough of fans' memories and fans' things on players. Let the fan. All right, they might have to edit some of the stuff, but yeah, be a bit more open in your programme. Be a bit more, proactive, and don't be frightened of putting stuff out there that perhaps isn't PC and as far as your team's concerned. Be able to criticise. Not many, you don't get a match programme where they criticise their own team. But what's wrong with that? I'll do something a little bit different. Get something, more of a magazine feel to it. I mean, I don't like United. I hate United, but their programmes. Programs always usually quite interesting when I flick through one, obviously with the ones against City. They have lots of stuff and it's sold as a magazine, and that's why they have big subscriptions. If City can latch onto the City, need to do that, or they just drop it. And I think they're aiming to drop it. I think that's the problem with City. I don't think they want to do it. I don't think they're arsed with doing it, to be honest with you. I mean, do you guys agree? Well, that's what I'm thinking, Luke. I think it won't be digital. I'm saying, but that's where they want to go. I think that's what they want to do, and that's why the quality's sort of dwindling a little bit over the years. They do have some okay things in it in the past few years, but it has dwindled. Yeah. So we've got the King of the Kippax as our pro. Well, I must admit, I've sort of half and half asking Dave, to sort of why has he never done a vlog or a fan thing like this? But I think he's too busy doing his magazine, isn't he? But as I say, this is my version of my magazine that I never got off the ground in the first place. So I'm quite happy doing what I do and looking into things and doing these History Boy vlogs and all the little vlogs I do. And I do enjoy doing them as well. I learn things as well, and I forget things. I forget everything. I forget my own name sometimes. But hey, there you go. I don't like T-Mac. I like the pushing the digital this and digital that. It's not the same as something. T-Mac, I did say again. It's not been published yet. It's a future one. But I'm saying that. I think there's nothing wrong with magazines. I mean, everyone think magazines were dead. They said obviously they had the Kindles and books were dead and things. But books have come back now. People are buying books again. So why can't people buy magazines? So put a flipping good City magazine out there, but that's going to be subscribed to. The fans of the million. We got. Let's face it. What everyone says, the small club. We've got millions of fans. If you can get a quality magazine that's of interest to people, and you don't have to put relevant. You don't have to put brand new stuff in it. Of course, you've got to have some brand new stuff, but do it so that it appeals in time. It doesn't have to be here and now. And King of the Kippax survives like that. I mean, you get the King of the Kippax, and some of the information might be a month old, but the way they do it makes it interesting, so it doesn't matter, and that's what they need to do. But I do worry that they are going. It only takes one or two clubs to say, right, we're going digital, and then obviously the others will follow. But at the moment, no one's saying that, so all the clubs are sort of sitting on the fence a little bit and carrying on regardless. They don't like to push the digital, Chris. Even though I don't get tickets for last game of the season, who cares? We're not winning anything this season. I'm not holding back till shambles season. It is, Chris. Well, you've done well, mate, to get where you are, and let me know tomorrow. I'm sure I'll see you on Twitter anyway. If you do get a ticket, let me know how you get on. Is there a time for it? Will you know from a certain time or anything like that? Luke, absolutely. I mean, I was reading the Match of the Day magazine. I don't know if anyone gets that out there. It's all right, but it's very, very toned down, isn't it, compared to the sort of adult Match of the Day program? It's obviously aimed at a younger age group. And it was expensive, isn't it? I mean, I can't believe how much these there's only about 60 pages or something. It's so expensive as well. I mean, that's the problem with magazines. They are expensive. I buy film magazines and they're like £6 for an Empire magazine or Total Film or something like that. I mean, £6 or £7. They are expensive, but in this day and age, I suppose, that's just part of the course, isn't it? So, but it's all to do with how many you can make. If you can print and sell 200,000, you can probably get away with having them a bit cheaper. But obviously, is it about the money or is it about just getting the stuff out there? Make the program for all ages, Luke. T-Mac got some of the official club handbooks from the 90s. Yeah, I've got some of them, T-Mac. They were good books with stats, history. Well, that's what you want. I mean, say my history boys now. I mean, obviously, I've just done the Everton one, history boys, and then when we play Everton next season, I'll do another one because there's so much out there. You never run out of material. You never run out of material for years and years. All right, you might struggle a bit when you play teams like I did the other day with Brighton. We've only actually played them at Brighton 10 times in the league. Played one FA Cup game there as well back in the day, but. You do sort of run out with things like that, but most teams, no. Like Everton, you can go on for years talking about City Everton games, and they've all got. Even you look at every single game, you can find something interesting in every game as well. This is the thing. I mean, it's a wonderful. You can actually go look at these magazines and these games and find something interesting all the time because there's just so much history just in one game. I mean, the Everton today, there's like. I had to sort of tone down what I put out in my little vlog because there's just so much information, so I have to sort of edit it and put it to a reducible amount because my vlog could go on for at least an hour just talking about 3 games against Everton. So there's loads of stuff out there to fill magazines and stuff, and I think they should spend a bit. As I said, I think magazines might come back like books have made a comeback. Why can't football magazines make a comeback? Chris, we had our moment with Alisson scoring. I'm happy now. Seeing let's now have giggles having cup of tea and biscuit attitude. We got 2 more cup finals in the race for top 4. Yeah, well, Chris, it's almost in your own hands again, isn't it, mate? So virtually, if you do win the next 2, you probably will do it because obviously with Chelsea playing Leicester tomorrow, it's and before you play, so you'll know exactly what you have to do on Wednesday as well. So that's even better for you. T-Mac Shoot magazine. I always used to buy Shoot magazine. T-Mac. When Saturday comes, do you like that? I've read the odd ones. Not overly impressed. It's all right. It's okay sometimes. Do you have the program? Yeah, I have that, Luke, somewhere. It's in my collection somewhere. Yeah, I've got that one. Well, any ones I've missed, which I do sometimes. I do miss programs. I've lost programs as well. So any I've missed, I always try and go back and buy them as long as they're not too expensive. Kit for next season is out. Let's not ask what day because I don't know. Well, yeah, Luke. I won't say. I don't. I can't really pay the club prices, so I do get a dodgy one. But I have got a couple ordered myself. So there you go. But I'm not going to wear them until they actually officially come out. So I haven't got them yet, but. I will be getting them. I'll get all 3. I've ordered the first 2 anyway. I've ordered the home and away one so far. So obviously, when they come out in the club shop, I will then wear them. If I ever get them before then, I mean, there's a chance I might not get them before then. I don't know. Luke Mack, I'm going to struggle watching the final. I'm in Scotland that day for a wedding. Luke, how can you? Who's getting married on a day like? I've had a few people I know doing that actually. Yeah, but you've got to watch it, Luke, Matt. You've got to watch it. I mean, how can you not watch it? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, you're going to have to watch it on a phone or something somewhere. A game like that. Unbelievable. T-Mac, forgot Kindle, a good paperback. Oh, that's it, T-Mac. But don't forget, when Kindle first started, it was going to knock it all on the head, wasn't it? But now we've seen the increase. I think some of these newspapers are struggling, but they should struggle anyway because they're a waste of space. But I think magazines and books, I think there's life in the old dogs yet, to be honest with you. And as I say, I'm hoping City don't knock it on the head, but it only takes 1 or 2 clubs to say, right, we're not producing a magazine. There's no money in it anymore. and others will follow suit, unfortunately. But no one wants to be the first to give up, do they? That's the thing. I don't think no one wants to, because it's a bit of history, a program. When you go to a match, you think about the kids who go to the first match. That program's a bit of their history, isn't it? It's really, really important, and it needs to be carried on. You get it watched, Luke. Anyway. Where do you get your new shitty? Luke, yeah, abroad, Luke. Sort of somewhere sort of south of Shanghai, I think, mate. But the ones I got, obviously, those on the door over there, they're all good quality, and they're not quite. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, so. If you message me privately, Luke, I'll give you some information, mate. If you want anything, if you do want, and they are reliable, because I've used the firm 2 or 3 times. So, Luke, if you just message me later or give us an email, and I can email you the details anyway if anyone wants it. But I can't really do it on here. Team, I can remember an issue of Shoot magazine from 2000, which I got, and there's an interview with Carlo Nash when he played for City. I'm sure he said Kevin Hall was one of the for pulling prank. Yeah, I think have you watched him on that We're Not Really Here show, T-Mac? I think he's quite funny. I think he's quite dry. I've not watched much of it, but I think he has quite a good sense of humour. I think the sort of guy I'd like to sort of have a drink with, you know what I mean? There's some of them on there that, especially Cal with his dangly earrings. I don't know what's going on with that lad, but he's something wrong with that lad. But I'd rather watch Natalie. Put it that way. I'd rather watch Natalie than Cal. Sorry, mate, but that yeah, I'm a red-blooded male. Yeah, I'd rather watch Natalie than Cal. Although. Well, he's a blue, so at the end of the day, I'll stick up for him. But I don't know what these earrings are about. He wears, Cal. Does he wear them all the time? I say I don't always watch it, so I have seen him wear these big dangly earrings. So, Carlo Nash, well, there was a keeper. Well, I was doing that Everton thing today, mate, and obviously it was a nightmare game for a certain Martin Margetson in the City goal, where he got pulled off at half time. Pulled off as in taken off the pitch. I was doing that today as one of my Everton History Boy features. So if you remember, any of you guys remember that, but if you don't, when he said he was that bad, he got subbed at half time. Andy Dibble came on at half time, although he didn't do much better. But it was a shocking game, if you remember that. T-Mac, yes, that's a good show. Kevin Hall, top player. Natalie, yes. Natalie, yes. T-Mac, have you been on internet looking for pictures of Natalie when she was a model? Have you? I haven't. Not me. No, I haven't. But have you? I'm getting all embarrassed. I'm going red now. Guys. Yeah, a voice would probably tire me after a while, but yeah, apart from that, yeah, she's fine. And then again, my voice would probably tire up people's out, doesn't it? So there you go. You know where we're coming from, T-Mac. You know what we're talking about. I can't help. It's funny. I mean, I say to the guys at work when we have a laugh, obviously, I said, well, listen, I was a pervert when I was younger, so I'm gonna, if I fancied ladies when I was younger, I'm going to fancy them now. It's not, just because you're older doesn't mean you don't still appreciate things, and that's all there is to it. Nice eye candy, yeah, T-Mac, absolutely. As I say, those internet pictures were interesting. Blackpool, remember that game ever in a good old typical City day? Well, that was it. There were things were thrown at Peter Swales in the the director's box that day. Blackpool. I've got a little my scrapbooks cover that period when I was doing scrapbooks for about 5.5 seasons or something like that. I had a sort of phase where I had a bit of spare time for once, so I did loads of scrapbooks. But yeah, the Everton 5-2 win, it was our worst ever defeat at Main Road to Everton, or at home to Everton. So that was a fun day, and we were on warning as well. That's the season we rioted against Tottenham in the FA Cup quarter final as well. So we've been warned by the FA any more pitch invasions, and we would be have problems. But so it's a bit of it's only 25,000 there that day, a bit of a low turnout, but I think the guys that were there, and I was there that day, were pretty angry with what was going on, to be honest with you. Chris just got an email. I've been. You what? Well done, Chris. Fantastic. Oh, excellent. Super. I'm glad for you, mate. I'm so gutted that I didn't, but fantastic. Fantastic, Chris. Well done, mate. We are men team, absolutely. And I think Peter was always getting stuff. He was, yeah. And I think who else got hit by something? Kendall got hit by something. I was Kendall. He must have been their manager at the time. Got hit by something as well. The Everton manager, I was Kendall at the time. You know, there's another one. But probably was aiming for Kendall. He probably wasn't aiming for Swales at the time. But there you go. It was obviously only a year or two after Kendall had deserted us, wasn't it? They better win Wednesday. And when I'm this would be nice then, Chris. Won't it be more to it? At least it'd be something, as you say. If you've been going to that last game knowing a win, I mean, that's all you need. A win will get you into that top four. That's all you want from a game, isn't it? To have something matters. That's what you want from a football game. I mean, all right, we go to football games when nothing matters. Of course we do, but it's nice to, after all this time, to go back and watch a game where something's important, you know. So that's. But well done, mate. Anyway, I'm glad for you. Fantastic. Did they have a similar ballot to us, Chris, where it was obviously, you know, they give you a chance to enter it, and the people? Do you have loyalty points in Liverpool? Do they have stuff like that over there for their fans? I know they don't have as many season tickets, do they? Because they obviously sell a lot more to fans on the day. They don't sell as many season tickets, I don't think, do they? Deliberately, so they can sell more, obviously, to people who just want to turn up with the. Obviously, that's how they do it, don't they? I think Liverpool, they actually hold a lot back because they know they can sell them to fans as and when. Yeah, it's funny, when Peter Swales died, you know, T-Mac, if you remember that, and I think we had a minute silence at the ground, remember that? And my brother-in-law at the time, he was the only one shouting rude things during this minute silence. I was a bit embarrassed. I wasn't actually next to him. I was near enough to hear him, though. It was a bit embarrassing. I mean, I didn't like Swales, but at the end of the day, the guy had died. You know, it's just he shouldn't do things like that. But a little bit embarrassing, to say the least. But as I said, I didn't regularly go to the games with him. I could just hear him. So there you go. Loyalty points to Liverpool. How many Stone Island you hold? Luke, Mac, not be rude. Chris is a good lad. Don't pick on Chris. Bit of banter. Well, Chris goes all the way from Carlisle, Luke, every time. He goes down on the train every home game. So he watches Carlisle and he watches Liverpool as well. So, you know, a real football fan. Have I got any more headlines here that to discuss? Anything else here before we finish for the night? Well, this is an interesting one. Try and get this up. It's not working properly. Oh, yeah. Just KDB, do you think this injury? I mean, Pep said he's trained for a couple of days, hasn't he, guys? But do you think he has? Do you think he's telling the truth? I know there wasn't much love for Swells, but yeah, I'm in silence showing respect. Well, this is it, T-Mac. I mean, as I say, it's he was. Some people say he was a City fan. Some people say he wasn't really a City fan before he went on the board, etc., etc. So it's hard to know. I mean, there's no doubt his passion for the club, but obviously he did the dirty on me as well as in the late 80s when I tried to get a magazine going. But there you go. That's another story. But Yeah, so he's a prat, but at the end of the day, he sort of all right. Let's face it, like most of these guys in the day, they want some of that out of it. They're not going to do it for the love. Even if they did love the club, they were fans. You know, you look at other chairmen that took over after him. You know, that perhaps meant well, but at the end of the day, it didn't sort of quite work out, is it? Because it's not the cash cow. Perhaps some people think it could have been with the support, etc. Yeah, you've got to show respect at the end of the day, unless it's a mass murderer, unless it's Pol Pot or Idi Amin or someone like that. You got to show you got to sort of show respect, haven't you? But I won't mention another certain prime minister that a lot of people didn't like. But at the end of the day, you got to show some respect. I think he'll feature in both. Maybe this is it, T-Mac. As I said before, I think. If he's going to get injured, he's going to get injured. So let's know about it. It's no good him starting the Champions League final after not playing or featuring the next two games and then getting injured after 10 or 15 minutes, because it's a total change of a plan then. I mean, if you're going to play the Champions League final without KDB, at least you can prepare for that and prepare your team for that. But if you get an injury to a key player like him where he's not had chance, you know, they took a chance on him perhaps, and I don't think they will. But I mean, is that, you know, that's the problem, isn't it? Would they take a chance on him? I don't think it's an injury, just to worry not to risk it to you. Yeah, it's one of those games, Luke, Matt, surely, where even if he's kind of a little bit of it, it's the last game of the season, so it's not going to totally be a disaster if he sort of puts him out for a few weeks, is it, by playing. So I mean, there's a lot of guys at City know a lot more than us, don't they, on the coaching and physical side. So we have to believe that they know what they're doing. But hey, there you go. I think T-Mac, I think I finished in ball, maybe as a sub. Yeah. Jim Whitewater, plastic oil money. Oh, Jim Whitewater. Hello, Jim Whitewater. How you doing, mate? Plastic oil money. What does that mean, mate? Do you want to have a chat, or do you want to spout crap, basically, Jim Whitewater? I mean, is that an Indian name? Are you a red Indian of some sort? Blackpool Blue. Yeah, well, again, Blackpool, at the end of the day, is what it is. Anyway, we don't want to bring it down, do we? Oh dear, Jim. Yeah, Jim Whitewater. I think he used to be in a band, I think, in the old days. So we were due one, weren't we? We hadn't had one today, so that's not too bad. Someone jealous. Do you know anything about the history of Manchester City, Jim, before the oil money? Do you know anything about the history of this club that goes back so many years? Yeah, it is, Chris. I think he's an Apache. I think he was an Apache in a previous life. But there you go. It is what it is. Jim Whitewater. Love you, mate. If you had your tea, come on, Jim. Give us some more information. Give us some ecstatic information. Who do you support, Jim? What wonderful non-finance team do you support? Is there any, which club that's never had any money in its life or been invested in do you support? I'd love to know. They've been let out for the day again. They certainly have Blackpool, but they're all right. He's okay. He's fine. He just came on before the end just to bring us all, try and bring us all down. But it'll take more than that, won't it, guys, to bring us lot down. So I'll get me spag ball in a minute, and I'll be fine. So you're watching the game tomorrow, Chris, the Leicester-Chelsea game. That'll be an interesting game tomorrow. Chelsea, really, are they going to base it on the fact they might win the Champions League? Or are they going to, I think they're going to have to field a strong team. You only bought all that City stuff in your room off the internet. Well, Jim, yeah. Not all of it, mate. Some I got from the City shop and various places. I made the pictures, some pictures I made myself there, little things. Obviously, this shirt was given to me by City. I didn't buy this when I played at Main Road. So this was actually given to me free when I played for City in goal. So, yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of stuff from the internet. But, I mean, that's how I buy things. I mean, that's how you buy things these days. What do you mean it don't matter who I support? Well, Jim, we know who I support. I'm just asking who you support. If you want to have a conversation, have a conversation. If you don't, bugger off somewhere. I mean, I don't know why you have to be so come out with your baseless facts that you're coming out with about oil money, because there's nothing to do with oil money. Yeah, of course, it's an investment, but I would suggest you're probably a United fan or something like that. Anyway, Jim, I would suggest from your sort of standard there. Team at United spent over $1 billion, and that was only Fergie, United, and the NYSC and LSC, of course. Yeah, it should be a good game, Chris. Oh, he's a Chelsea fan. There we go, Chelsea. The irony, Jim. The irony. Flipping heck. Russian oligarch money. Hey, you're absolutely. You've got the cheek to come on here. You're an absolute idiot, mate. An absolute prune. Oh, what an idiot. Absolute classic. Absolute classic. I'm a Chelsea fan. Oh, dear. I tell you what, the word plastic in the dictionary actually comes up Chelsea. That's what actually comes up, Jim. Have you actually looked it up in the dictionary? It's a cracker, absolute cracker. Well done, Jim. You've cheered us up no end, mate. Anyway, let's hope Leicester stuff you tomorrow and you lose your last game. Let's hope we stuff you next week. That'll be absolutely wonderful. Champions of Europe. You'll never sing that. Yeah, all this garbage that you lot sing. Get over yourself. Oh dear. Do you get the City DVDs? I used to, mate. I don't tend to much anymore. Did they do one for last season? If he had brains were dynamite, he wouldn't have enough to blow his head off. Yeah, absolutely. They don't even know their own history, mate. This is a problem with these fans. He's probably about 12. He probably don't even know his own history. Yeah, he's probably too young for that Blackpool, to be honest with you. But anyway, Jimmy, do you want to stay? Fair enough. I'm going off in a minute anyway, mate. But you just made yourself look a right plum, to be honest with you. Yeah, I could have lived with you being a United fan, but Chelsea fan, I mean, it's just taking the mick, mate. You really are taking the mick. Oh dear. No, I probably didn't, Luke. Again, it was 12 or 13 quid. I probably wouldn't have even watched it, to be honest with you. So I probably didn't buy it because I end up buying these things and then just like these books, I'll have to get to read these books. I don't have much time to read them, to be honest with you. We did it the right way. Yeah, of course you did, Jim. Yeah, you did it the right way, mate. You didn't have FFP to contend with for a start, so you just spent loads and loads to get where you are without any problems. So don't give me that rubbish. You did it the right way. You're absolutely clueless, but yeah, no, Luke Chad, I've not got that. Luke Mack, 5 million is someone to miss out on top four. Well, yeah, they had a bit of a rest though, didn't they? Give him credit. He played some of the young lads. He looked all right for a bit, didn't he? But now they've gone back to the tried and trusted now, all the old guys that cost a fortune, which is fair enough. I'm getting off you embarrassing. Jim, get off you embarrassing yourself. Yeah, he does Blackpool. Right, another 4 or 5 minutes, guys, and then we'll call it a day. As I say, I like to finish with obviously Jim cheering me up. He's done a great job there. I wonder if he'll be at the Champions League final. It'll be interesting, won't it? Will they? Probably won't get a ticket. He's probably in such high demand. Yeah, showing his age. Do you have the Champions magazine from the season under Manuel Pellegrini? I think I probably do, Luke. Yeah, I probably got that. To be honest with you. Probably have it somewhere. I have a box of all the modern sort of one-off things, like cup final programs. I keep all those separate to me program stuff. I am in a minute, Luke. To the final. Yeah, well, yeah, if I can get a ticket, Luke, but I've only got about 7,000 points. So, and I'm hoping it's not going to be a ridiculous amount of money, obviously. But hey, listen, I'm getting on a bit. I might not get another chance. I'm sure we will. Once we get done this now, we'll probably be there a few times now. Fingers crossed. Or we're probably back in Division 2 and then cheer up there, Mr. Big Chief Clearwater, whatever his name is. I've even forgot his name now. Didn't Chelsea have transfer ban? Yeah, they did, Chris, because even we didn't get that, did we? Even horrible City didn't get one of them, did they? But there you go. They made up for it, though, didn't they, Chris, in the last season? I think they spent a few quid, didn't they? Let's be honest about it. Yeah, so Luke, Matt, yeah, hopefully, mate. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But with 6,000 tickets, 5,000 probably for the fans if you take out all the sponsors and the backhanders for people and all that sort of thing. We'll see. I'm sure. See what people are saying on the internet. Oh, I'm not going because it's such and such a thing. You know what City fans are like. They're quick to moan about things, but you just got to get on with it, haven't you? Luke, I'm off, mate. Yeah, cheers, Luke. Luke, no problem, Luke. Chad, fantastic. I'm going in a minute myself. Thanks for coming on, mate. Much appreciated. Cheers, Luke, mate. You watch out for me program things. Blackpool actually saw my last Mank this week. Oh yeah, the Mank magazine. Yeah, I've got a few of them. How much did you get for it, Blackpool? If you don't mind me asking. Without rushing all money, Carlisle are bigger than Chelsea. I'll tell you what, Chris. What Chelsea would have done would probably just carried on like they were. Won the odd FA Cup and stuff, and that's what they were. They would probably never won the league. And City, without this investment, we probably would have done the same. But you don't know. You never know, do you? No one can go back and replay what's happened. It's like anything. Who's to think that Liverpool would go all those years without winning the league? You just don't know, do you, in football? It's just one of those things. All you need is a good manager and a good set of 13, 14 players. He can do anything. And, Leicester have proved that, haven't they? Leicester have proven that. They've not. It's not as though they've not spent money. Leicester, let's be honest about it. They've not done it on nothing. They've not done it on a shoestring, have they? But that's what can happen. And there's nothing to say City or Chelsea wouldn't have carried on and won odd things like that. But that's how it is. Yeah, I'm all right, Morgan. Yeah, I'm going in a minute, mate. Though. But thanks for joining us anyway. Blackpool, but 50p. Does that include postage? Have you got to pay? If you have to pay postage, you're in trouble, Blackpool, aren't you? Yeah. Cheers, Morgan. Thanks for coming, mate. Yeah, we just had a Chelsea fan on calling us oil money, which was quite funny. But hey, there you go. Yeah. Cheers, Chris, mate. Have a good. Hey, I'm so chuffed that you got that ticket, pal. Enjoy the games, and we'll no doubt chat before then anyway. But thanks, mate. Thanks, Chris. United went 26, Liverpool 30, we went 44. Yeah, this is it, T-Mac. There's no one knows, do they? No, everyone throws the Middlesbrough score at us, don't they? But they forget that we also beat United twice that season. Things like that. It doesn't really matter. I'm sure City, without the oil money, I'm sure we would have won a cup or two, surely. Even we would have been happy with that, wouldn't we? But hey, we won the lottery. That's how it is. It's just, most clubs wanted to win the lottery. We won the lottery, and that's all there is to it. That's fantastic and good for us. And we were very, very lucky. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget where we come from. I used to sell for £1.50, but that was my last one. Yeah, Blackpool. I've got a few actually older programs on eBay and stuff, but I don't look and check. Occasionally I sell one, but I just keep them at the same price. And if anyone buys them, they buy them. Big Morgan, alcoholic Chelsea. I think he was too young, Morgan. He obviously doesn't know his own history, never mind our history. So I think he was probably about 12 or something like that, Morgan, to be honest with you. Leicester winning the FA Cup is a great achievement, but it was no Wimbledon. No, of course it wasn't, T-Mac. Well, this is it. I don't know what Leicester spent, but they've spent, of course, they spent money, but they got Brendan Rodgers done a good job. He's got some good players. And you can do it. If you take the cup seriously, you can win a cup, can't you? But all right, you might come up against good teams, which you always will. You're always going to come up against like City. Obviously, been quite good in the League Cup. But we've had good draws as well. But if you play one of the top teams, there's a chance you're going to go out, isn't there? But if you can get an easier draw, City used to do that in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. We used to get so far, but then we always seemed to play quite a good team. At some stage, we used to get beat by crap teams, but there you go. A keyboard. I don't know. He's a keyboard warrior, Big Morgan. I think he's. Don't know what he is, but anyway, it was quite funny. He come on Coins Oil Club. We asked him who he supported. He said, "I thought he was a United fan." They said he was a Chelsea fan, but there you go. It's quite ironic, really. Leicester in the coach. Yeah, well, this is it, team. Yeah, of course it is. It's not a Cinderella story, though, is it? It's not one of these fairy tales. It's not a fairy. Of course, it's a fairy tale to a Leicester fan. Let's be honest about it. They've never won the FA Cups. That is fantastic, absolutely brilliant. Chelsea were robbed by Michael Oliver. Well, he's done that all the time, hasn't he, Morgan? He's done that all the time. Keyboard tribes, and yeah, we think he was a Red Indian, Morgan. As Luke Mack said there, we think he was a Red Indian by his name, but I think he's gone now anyway. I think his mum's shouted him. He's had to go to bed, so he's got school tomorrow. So there you go. He's got to get up for probably junior school. Actually, he's probably not in high school yet, but there you go. Anyway, he didn't swear. That's the nice thing when they start swearing and being abusive. At least he didn't do that. So all credit to him. At least he behaved himself, which is fair enough. It's talk crap, but at least he behaved himself. Yeah, Chelsea psychologically now perhaps aren't as up for it as they were a couple of weeks ago, were they? Let's be honest about it. I'm always going on about psychology, aren't I? But Chelsea can't really be as up for it perhaps as they were. But they can still harm. We'll talk about it next week, guys. Anyway, obviously next Monday on our live show, we'll have a bit more about the Champions League, and I'll hopefully know if I'm going or not. So what's happening with the tickets? You know what I say? We still won't know till tomorrow, and then obviously we can start buying on Wednesday. But obviously, probably for people with X thousand points or whatever. But we'll see. Is that Nicky Weaver's top you have on nice? Well, Morgan, yeah, as I said to the guys before, in the 2001-2002 season, I played a charity match at Main Road, and this is the shirt they give me. So I played in this at Main Road, and Peter Barnes was our manager, and Gary Owen was the other team's manager. So I had a good day. It was a good day, and I only let one goal in. I played half a game. I only let one goal in. That wasn't too bad. But he sat me on my bum, to be honest with you. He dummied me. He fooled me, the guy, and rounded me and scored the goal. But we beat him 10-3 in the end, so it was quite good. Even got my name on the back as well. Can you see my name on the back? Yeah, so I've got the shorts and the socks. I don't know where the socks have gone. I've lost the socks, so I've got the shorts still, but I've lost the socks. And I've still got the boots. The last time I wore my football boots was on Main Road. I did actually keep them with all the little bits of grass on them and stuff, but over the years it's all fallen off now. But I've still got my boots that I wore on Main Road as well, and I've still got them. So, and my gloves. I've got my gloves, but they're falling apart. they're all falling apart. My gloves that I wore as well. I'm a lucky guy, Morgan. Yeah, I would love to play at the Etihad, but I think I'm a bit old now. I'm a bit old to play at the Etihad. I would give it a go. I could go. I could even play out for 10 minutes. I'm quite fit. I mean, I do a lot of walking and stuff, but I'd love to play at the Etihad now. I'd love to do that. That was the season for goals. I wanted to go to one shop and Huckabee. Absolutely, yeah. We played in the. Did we play in the away kit and the home kit? I can't remember what we played in now. One of the teams played in the home kit and one of the teams played in the away kit. Can't remember. But obviously it's the IDOS, isn't it? The old IDOS. They didn't last long. Was that 2 years we had this one with IDOS on it? They went bust, didn't they? Right, another couple of minutes, guys, and I'm going to shoot off. Get some tea. Been great again tonight. Not saying quality rather than quantity, but all appreciated all you guys coming on. We'll have a good one next Monday, obviously, thinking about the Champions League, and any of you guys planning on going? Is there any of you lot on there at the moment planning on going? What's your opinion on the new kits? Luke, yeah, I don't like. I've seen a hint of the third one. I don't particularly like the third one. There's too much writing on it if it's what I think it is. But yeah, I think the home kit's okay. And I think the away one's unusual. I do like black, but that's the third kit, isn't it? That's black, and the white with the sort of rainbowy colour on it for the second kit. Yeah, we'll see. They're always better on, aren't they? I wasn't overly impressed with last year's, but once I got them and you wear them, they're all right. So yeah, I mean it's one of those things, isn't it? What do you think, Luke, Mac? Do you think the kits are all right? As I say, they're not bad. They're not bad. I'd like a red and black stripe at some stage over the next year or two. I like a red and black stripe version. I just rewatched my vlog on the. It doesn't matter if it's black or red that I did last year. I thought it was quite a good vlog when I watched it back. I've not watched it for quite a long time, but yeah, I was just watching that today, and it made me think, yeah, it'd be nice to get a red and black stripe kit as well. It's again at some stage, Puma red and black stripe. Oh, there you are, T-Mac. Yeah, you caught. just seeing that. Then I was just commenting about it. Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. Sorry, mate. Yeah, we were obviously on the same wavelength then. I was talking about red and black, and you just said that then, because I think that's most City fans' second kit, isn't it? That's if you could only have two kits in the world, it would have to be sky blue and. Would it red and black? I do like a bit of maroon, but red and black, or the 99 one sort of grew on us all, didn't it? Let's be honest about it. But there you go. They're not too bad, yeah. And I like the red and black diagonal as well. I mean, you had the red and blue diagonal we played in, but we also had the red and black diagonal. I thought that was a nice one as well. That's a nice one. Palace have nice kits, don't they? I think Crystal Palace always have a nice kit. I think they always do a good job with their kits. We're not always, are we? And the white shirt with the sashes. Oh, there you go. Team Matt, me and you are on the same wavelength here, mate. Totally. You must have watched I literally just rewatched some of my vlog that I did on the red and black. I watched about 10 minutes of it and sort of just brought back the memories then of probably did it back in October. Yeah, it was the anniversary of playing at Everton, and that's where we first wore the red and black striped kit at Goodison Park. So I was doing it. It was October we first wore it, 1968, was it? October 68, 69, yeah. So yeah, quite right. Sky blue, yeah, it has to be Big Morgan. I don't know but I mean, yeah, because they're dark blue anyway. So there's no clash, is there? We can play in blue and both play in our normal kits, can't we? In theory, because we did play in our normal kits the last time we played, didn't we? I think. There's not a colour clash, is there? Because obviously it's dark blue and light blue. So I think that's probably right, yeah. But if we have to change kit, make a special red and black stripe one, eh? For the Champions League. That'd be good. Right, guys. Sorry you're so late, Morgan, and I'm having to shoot off. But I've been an hour and 50 minutes now, so I'm a bit knackered. I've got an headache now. So I'm going to shoot off. I can thank you all for coming on tonight. Maroon's great, mate. Yeah, red and black stripes my favourite. Yeah, I like the maroon. I like a bit of maroon. But I will. Thanks for join me again next Monday, please, and just check out my vlogs. And thanks all of you. Thank all of you for coming on. Team at the coat of arms has to be on, mate. Has to be on there. Has to be on with the coat of arms. Let the world know who we are. Absolutely, Manchester City, the only team to come from Manchester, aren't we, guys? So 2 games to go. So another 2 games before I see you again. Let's win them. Let's go out with a bang, and let's see what this Champions League ticket allocation thing's got for it. Hey, let's see what's going on with that. Right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Big Morgan, T-Mac, Luke Mac, Luke Chadwick earlier on. Yeah, even Mr. Clearwater, whatever his name was. Blackpool, yeah, Blackpool for earlier on. Thanks, Chris Welch, for coming on. Cheers, guys. Anyway, have a great night, guys. All I ever ask you to do, don't forget, please stay safe, Blues, and whatever. Chris isn't on, though, so it's all Blues at the moment. Stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys. Thank you.